Hello, this is Greg with A1 Discount Satellites here at the here in Roy, Utah. It's snowing right now, as you can see. We're going to show you how to point a Dish Network dish. I've waited for a few months to do this. I'm here with Josh. I picked the best year of the best day of the year to do this, but my bad, so I'm paying the consequences. So basically, I'm going to show you first of all how to put on an F connector. And we have this is a stripper, just a cheesy stripper. It has two blades in there. It's gonna make two cuts. You put it on the cable and pinch it, and the two cuts it's gonna make is it's gonna cut one all the way to the copper core, and the other one is just gonna cut the outside shield. So I just put that on there, pull that off, and that's it. So that's the two cuts there. What you're gonna want to do now is take and peel back these braids right here. These braids are important to the operation, but you can't have any of the braids touch that copper core. My hands are really wet right now, but you're going to slide this compression F connector down over the cable, and you're going to push it down until it's flush, just like right there. It's got to be flush with that sleeve. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that white insulation be flush with the sleeve inside there. And then you're going to take your compression tool and put it on there and simply crimp that puppy on there. Okay, so that's how you put a correct F connector. You want to make sure you look at it and nothing's touching that copper core. It's virgin there. So that's step one. Step two is to come over to the dish, and I've already made this level, but you want to shim it up. Now this is just here for temporarily on a tripod. When you mount it on your roof, you want to make sure it's really stable, that you can basically hang off of it. But what you want to for sure do is take your level, your torpedo level, and you want to make sure that it's perfectly in the middle on two sides of the pipe, and it's perfectly in the middle there. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your satellite meter and power it on, and this hooks right into the LNB. This satellite buddy, it's called Super Sat Buddy. It actually is self-contained, so it has a battery in it and everything, and basically you're going to want to make sure you can still move the dish left and right. You're going to be able to, you got to make sure that you can move it, swing it left and right. So you want things a little bit tightened, but not too much. And on the Super Sat Buddy, let me just show you what, you power it on, and if you need to go to Dish Network here in Utah, you select enter. We're at Western Arc 1000.2, you select that. Western Arc 1000.2, that's all we're pointing at, and you're done. And it's going to take just a second here to start calibrating the LNB and so forth. And you're going to look at three things here. So there's, first of all, the azimuth, that's left and right. We're going to be looking about 170, well, it depends. We're looking at three satellite birds. We're looking at 110, 119, and then 129. The middle of that is the Dish Network, about 178, right in there. Excuse me, the 119 is the middle. So that's really what we're pointing to. This is the 119 LNB. This is the 129, because the signal comes in and reflects off of this over to here. And then the 110 comes from more of the east, and it reflects into the opposite side of the LNB. So here we are. We're going to push off, and I already got it pointed. You saw me move that too, but basically, let me have you hold that, Josh. So basically, this signal here is what you're looking at, is this number right here. So I'm going to just swing it left and right. We're about 42 degrees on the angle. I'm just going to swing that left and right, and there's 12, 1%, so I'm coming closer. There's 44, 47, 57, 64, 65, 66, and now I went past it. So I'm going to go back right there, and then on the angle, what I like to do is just put a little bit of pressure on the bottom and the upper part, and we're about 66, 67 is going to be the max that we can get that. And even with that snow, that's a pretty good signal for the 119 here in Utah. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten some things down here. I'm going to tighten these two. Now a lot of times when you tighten these two down, it can move that dish slightly, so you want to make sure you keep an eye on the meter as well as you do this. And I usually use a drill for this, but my drill's in the truck. But you're going to tighten this down. Then you're going to tighten this down as well. As it gets on there, it's harder to do that. So we'll just do it with this part. Now you notice my meter went down to 64 there, so it's altering that just a little bit. So I'm going to have to loosen that back up and point that. I want to figure out which way it went. So it looks like it may have pulled that back a little bit. There's 66 right there. So that would mean that I need to loosen this guide up a little bit and just drop it ever so gently. We're at 65 there now. Thank you, Josh. Let's see what it is now. 62. So I may have dropped it down too much. So we're at 64. 65, 66. Right there, 66. Okay, so that's what you do, is you point you just dither it back and forth ever so gently. Again, you want to make sure that you're secured, number one, and number two, make sure the mast is plumb, make sure the coax is good, and be patient. You're looking for, again, for the azimuth left and right, for the angle up and down, and then of course the skew, which is the dish is kind of skewed like this a little bit because it's got to look at 3 satellite birds, and they're in geostationary orbit around the equator, and because of the curvature of that, or because of the curvature of the Earth, they're not all in a straight line, they're kind of rounded, so that's why it's got to be skewed. So hopefully that helps you out. I wish you all the best, and be patient and have a great day. Thanks.